Happy weekend. Almost what we're starting, and the market's starting again soon. So before we enter the next week's trade, let's go over the trades we did in this past week, as well as the profits and some thought process. So invest at your own risk, and if you lose money, that's on you. It's your hard-earned money. So make sure you think and research. So without further ado, let's show the portfolio this week. You might notice that I have the value going from like lower value to higher value. That's because I'm thinking of consolidating some of the smaller positions so I can make some bigger positions more concentrated. So some play I'm thinking about involves Google, of course. I want to get 100 shares of it after the split. So that would be about like 4 more current shares. That's about a little bit more than 10K. And I'll see about that. Still down so far, but yeah. And these are the options. VIX volatility index. The 22 one is kind of from earlier. The 32 one is already profiting. We'll wait for it a little bit and see how it plays out. And this one is my leap call. I'm kind of testing out the strategy a little bit instead of like spending another 100 shares worth of Apple capital. Just buy this long term, just buy this leap call and see how it plays out. Kind of like reviewing our trades this week. It was a pretty good success rate. So on Monday we did a Nvidia cover call on our cost basis, and then we did Bilibili cover call just a little bit further out. Not like quite a cost basis. Used to own it at like $16, but then I put more when it was at 100. So this one takes some time to recover. AMD, we ran away in the previous video. It's a little bit more volatile this past week, but within our expectations. And Apple. This is the call that got assigned for myself last week, so it's actually my cost basis, and I wasn't sure if it's gonna drop more or rise more because there are no big catalyst, and the market emotions tends to be a little bit more bearish and a little bit more careful in the past week, especially after some earnings reports. And this is actually a mistake. I did not mean to sell 4 shares of Nvidia. I meant to buy 4 shares. And I meant to buy 4 shares of Microsoft. You saw them, they were approximately at the same time. It's because these are my monthly investment. I just buy this 4 shares of Microsoft, 4 shares of Nvidia. I used to buy 10 shares of Apple, but once I hit 100 shares, I can start doing options with them. So I kind of stopped doing this monthly thing. So at the end of the day, we did the call was at 124. I think the price ends up to be pretty close to the price. So I spent a little bit of money right before the market closes, because when the market closes, there's a lot of volatility changes, and the theta, which is the time decay, is extremely fast. It quickly drops your options worth to like practically a few dollars, from like $100 to a few dollars. But actually that's not quite. I think still 1 hour before was about like a few tens of dollars, and then just within the last 10 minutes it dropped to like negligible amount. So yeah, let's look at the Apple. Was at 167.5 and they're like 172, so a little bit it's meh. it's I'm trying to play it safe by going below the range. It's going below the range of the previous one actually. Like I'm looking for some downward safety. And then Nvidia this week is more or less it's pretty flat after the first day. Well, on average, I guess, kind of went up pretty high, but I don't care. It's my long-term holding. It's my conviction stock. So just trying to reduce my cost basis. And as you can see, actually I didn't have to like close it, but like you saw right before it was like 124.57. I didn't want to get assigned, so I just closed it just to be safe. This is the AMD. It's the one I spent $4 to close at the end. And Microsoft bought it February 1st. I buy stock the first day of every month. Just like a regular thing. It's kind of like your savings account, but I buy stocks. Bought it, I don't really care. It's a long-term hold. And it's a very solid company. Been through a lot. And definitely great leadership currently. And Bilibili, our option was at 37.5. Never really quite reached that. That means we are doing a pretty good estimation. Looking forward to do something similar in this next week, which will be a video tomorrow. And here's another mark, and Facebook did drop significantly for that one day. Everyone knows that. It's no news, but I don't care. But it really gets a little bit attractive because the PE ratio is getting kind of low, whereas the other, even Microsoft is almost like 30 something. Google, I believe, is very similar. This PE ratio is attractive, but I'm a little bit not sure how critical the business is to the society, and there are a lot of fierce competition, such as TikTok. So I don't plan to get much more involved with Facebook stock, but Snapchat did catch my eye a little bit because at this day it's the first time that it became profitable. First quarter it became profitable. That tells me they probably figure out the right business model for it. So I definitely will pay a little bit more attention to Snapchat because it's a relatively low individual share price, so it's a little bit easier to do options on. It requires a little bit less capitals. Because for my strategy, I need to do 100 shares of things, so it adds up quick. And let's look at the wicks. About at 32.5. The put, so yeah, it dropped significantly. I basically buy at this peaks. I think I bought at this peak as well. Was it one of this peak? I can't remember. Or maybe one of this. I forgot when I bought it. But yeah, I might have been buying on the rise. Once it drops to some of these values like 15, 16, 17, I'm going to exercise those and cash out. So yeah, next week's plays mostly still involve the stocks. You check the earnings, etc. To see the dates to make sure I account for the volatility due to that. But anyway, pretty okay week. Small gains. And yeah, see you next video. Drop me a comment to tell me what you want to watch. I might go over some. I actually thought about beating the market and such as like investment for people who don't have time, etc. Let me know the content you want to watch. See you next video. Take care.